Kane is in the building.
All right, this is Talking Sip. This is Jim Battenfield. Today I'm here with Lawrence Jones and Jayden Lowe. Guys, how you doing?
We're doing it. We're doing good.
All right. So Jayden didn't want me to say anything because he wanted to sound professional. This is a redo because something got messed up. We're learning. And when I went to upload this video, you can see Lawrence and then Jayden's arm. And that might be for part of our audience, but it's not for the rest. Gentlemen, you guys both had some tremendous performances in Oklahoma City. I'm going to let you guys talk about that a little bit. We're going to start with Lawrence because I know we're going to end up Jayden heavy on some of this stuff. So, Lawrence, why don't you go ahead and tell us about how your performance went at Collegiate Nationals in Oklahoma City?
I went in 242 raw. I weighed in at 224 pounds. I totaled 863 kgs, which is 1902 pounds. Squatted 706 pounds. Bench 451 pounds and 744 deadlift.
Not a bad day.
Yeah, that's 7 for 9, which is, I mean, it could have been worse.
Technically 8 for 9, but hey.
No, they said I ain't get dipped. I just ain't get dipped.
Yeah, I mean, still quite a performance. Ended up with second overall best lifter, which is quite the thing to do at a meet with 1,200 people, and the majority of them lifting raw. So, you guys were up in the top echelon, which is a good place to be. All right. So Jayden ends up putting together quite the performance. Broke the junior world record in the deadlift with 363 kilos, which is right at 800 pounds. That's a number I know you were chasing in your training, and your total actually exceeded the junior world record, and then it also exceeded the open world record. The junior world record is exceeded by over 30 kilos, and about 7 kilos on the nose. It exceeded the open. Jayden, how'd you get ready? How do you feel about how your performance went?
I'll tell us how I perform. Well, with my performance, I went 9 for 9. I weighed in 81.4 kilograms. Coming into this meet, I had to cut about 8 pounds just because I ate too much. I'm a fatty. But it's all right. I squatted 639. I benched 424, and I pulled 800. And I totaled 1864. So my performance was kind of good. That's really what I wanted on the diet. I was really trying to play conservative this meet because I knew Raw Nationals coming up, so I'm trying to really save everything for Raw Nationals.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, to be able to be conservative at Collegiate Nationals and put together that kind of performance is pretty unreal. So a lot to be happy about for both of you guys. I know we had some questions that we're going to work in. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight to the one that got the biggest pop from you guys because it comes actually from our secretary, Cameron Barrio. Lawrence, is Jayden going to regret pointing at you laughing when it was announced that you were second best lifter to him being best lifter?
Hey, it's this big fat kid from BMC right here.
You just got yourself a fatty. I don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna go on the Raw Nationals, and hopefully we can both be 1 and 2 again.
Yeah.
I plan on beating my 526 dots by a good margin.
Yeah, I saw today on your note. It says to pull something nasty in 3 weeks. Interested to see what that is, whether it goes public or not. I'm just interested to see how much that ends up being. I know sometimes y'all like to move in the shadows.
Well, my competition just followed me yesterday. So, I mean, I'm still gonna post it. But I plan on doing a little under what I did at CNETs for doubles. I'll see how that goes.
I tell you, that's one thing a lifter you guys may not be familiar with, but if you get a chance to look him up, Ian Bell is the lifter that I was able to be on staff for a couple of junior teams with. And he's still, yeah. Oh, one of the funniest things, Ian is he's so quiet. He's so quiet. He's so humble. He does a lot for the sport. And one day, just out of the blue, he said, "Well, I used to keep this stuff secret, but by now everybody kind of knows what I'm coming with. So here's some training." And it was at a time that nobody was really posting training, so it was it was pretty random to see him put it up and to put it out like that. But when you're right, you're right. So, and you guys are headed down that path too. It's fun to watch. So we talked a little bit on the episode that is now the lost episode about how you guys got started in powerlifting, and I'd like to go over that again and give you that opportunity again. Lars, we'll go ahead and start with you again. Kind of how you got started and what led you to BMC as well.
So I all started in 8th grade. My football coach came up to me. He was trying to start like a mini like middle school powerlifting team. Came up to me to ask me if I wanted to be on the powerlifting team. At first, I was on the fence about it, but he kept on bugging me about it. So I was like, okay, I mean, it'll be a good chance to get stronger with football. And that was basically my mindset towards powerlifting up until my senior year when I found out you can get powerlifting scholarships. So was working towards that. And my senior year, believe February-ish, I committed to Friends University to go play football and powerlift. But I realized that Friends wasn't the route I wanted to go. And BMCU is an hour away from where I live, so they offered me a scholarship too. So I came over here, ended up having to give up football, but at the end of the day, my love for football was gone. So, you know,
Yeah, so I think that's I think that's a route that's very common in Mississippi as far as oh, I'll do this to get stronger, and then you end up finding out, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this. And so at some point it's hard not to like the thing that you're better at. And I've seen some great athletes that can really put it together powerlifting, and you almost hate to see them keep going in football because of what they can do is powerlifting. But, especially for me, when I was coming out of high school, there were no scholarships. I mean, it was you were lucky if you got the out of state waiver taken care of.
yeah.
And some schools are doing that, but outside of that, that was it. Hey man, we'll give you a T-shirt that says such and such powerlifting. And when you mentioned Friends, man, that's quite a program they put together. I know they put up some top 10 finishes over the last couple of years. I believe they finished fifth either last year or this year with either the men's or the women's teams. To do that out of 104 or so teams that are entered is pretty solid. Jayden, what about you?
So for me, it really started when I was going into my 8th grade year of middle school. So going into that year, I started lifting in the summer, and my grandfather bought me a weight set. And you know how you had that cousin that's always better than you and everything. He's better than me playing the game and all that good stuff. So I was like, I'm finna learn how to do this stuff. And so when I learned, I got bigger, I got stronger, and I just started benching. So when I started, I just started benching. So once I got to school, they was looking at me like, man, you done put on a lot of size. And my coach was looking for some lighter weight people because it's really hard to find it in high school from
Yeah.
where I went to school at because we had people, our average lightweight person was 150 and up. So with me being in 8th grade, I was a great candidate to represent the 148 weight class. So my first meet, I got third. Second meet, I got second by 5 pounds. And then when it came up to time to go to state, I had injured something in my glute, and I just couldn't do nothing. So I said, man, I'm finna get better on every lift. And so once I did that, I went back, hit a hard off season, started swatting more, just refining my technique on deadlift, and came into my 9th grade year of high school. That's when COVID happened. So I supposed to be winning it during my 9th grade year, but COVID came in and took that away from me. And then 10th grade year, had another successful year, but I bummed out at state on bench. And then 11th grade year, I won state. And then 12th grade year, had a rough time. My senior year, a lot of things going on in my life. So I wasn't able to compete. And so really how I really got in touch with Blue Mountain is my former coach Drake Morgan. He contacted my head football coach, and he gave him my information, contact information, and it went from there. I came up here for 2 to 3 visits. He came to see one of my when I first started my piloting debut in the USPA Federation. I went to a little local meet, qualified for nationals, won nationals, and it just went from there, man.
It's funny. It's such a small group because I know who probably was the meet director for that meet you went to at USPA. It's probably John Micah.
Yeah, it
So,
is. He's tough, man. He's
hey, look,
tough, and I mean,
well, so we're very fortunate here, and since you gave me that opening, I'm gonna I'm gonna take that second to say that we're very fortunate here. There's all these different federations, and during different during different times, I've been limited to what I could do because of things I was doing in my federation. Like I used to announce, but then I had to stop doing that while I became an international official. Those kind of things. What I hosted the nationals in 2011
mhm.
down in Bay St. Louis at the birthplace of
uh
USA Powerlifting. I tell you what, John brought a crew from that because John and Jeff Douglas train at the same gym. and Jeff is one of my mentors in this sport. I've been fortunate to have some great mentors. Jeff's definitely one of them, and they brought a crew, and we didn't have any problems. I mean, you talk
Yeah.
about, they talk about TSS and Pitt and all these other, obviously BMC, UAB has a great crew. The Minnesota
We're
Minnesota
better
crew is
though.
pretty
We're
good.
better.
Now, well, we're not getting to that, but I tell you what, we didn't have any problems at any point during the weekend as far as spotting goes. Man, we had some of the biggest, baddest spotters around, and man, it was quick.
Yes, sir.
There may have been things to say about that meet, but it wasn't the spotting, that's for sure.
Mhm.
So I'll send you guys a link of some of the guys that were spotting. Sometimes they were dwarfing the lifters,
Yeah.
so it was kind of great. But yeah, shout out to those guys. We've always gotten along quite well. You talked a little bit about your technique, and we touched on it. We touched on it in the last episode. Tell me a little bit about your deadlift setup, kind of where that comes from.
So a fun fact is when I first started powerlifting, I could not pull to save my life. And so to see how my deadlift evolved now, it's just very crazy to me. Because when I first started, when I maxed out in 8th grade, I just pulled 300 pounds. And then coming in my 9th grade year, jumping almost 200 pounds, pulling over 500 pounds, I did not like deadlifting. So I just started sitting down, watching a lot of deadlift videos. I know I brought up to you about Eddie Hall.
80 Hall, yep.
Uh-huh. Because at the time I was learning conventional and I was like, sumo's just too technical for me. So at the time I was pulling conventional and I actually learned it from him. And then I just basically combined both a conventional setup with a sumo setup. And that's what I got my setup from. I mean, it feels so great. Just knowing that your feet is at the midfoot and you're gonna deadlift from that, and I just can feel pressure around my whole entire foot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the solid thing. Just we just always got to make sure you get to the platform with no less than about 57 seconds to go, because
Yeah.
otherwise, I tell you, we were watching the clock. I think I can't remember if it was on 3:42 or 3:63, but I was just sitting there. I was looking up, I look back down. I look it up, I look back down. But
Yeah, it was probably every
fortunately, when that
lift.
lift,
Yeah.
well, it, I tell you, I wasn't prepared for that in Salt Lake when I had the opportunity to help you a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I was just kind of like, oh no, what is happening? And but then I was, oh okay, so. But obviously that worked out.
Yeah.
Hopefully it does again here in a few weeks in Atlanta. So another question I want to work in. This one was also from Cameron.
Mhm.
And when you guys taking your practical for your state exam?
So, you go.
Well, so I'm the one of three people that's passed the test on the team. I still need to get around doing my background check and my safe sport.
Well, I know a guy. So I'm put you in touch with him. We can get that thing going, and then get you to meet and get that done. I know we got some big things on the horizon coming up. Obviously, one of the things we have to make sure of is we can't talk about any prospective meets until they're sanctioned. But one meet we can talk about. I know you guys probably saw it. Did y'all see that dope graphic that dropped out over the last couple of days?
Yeah.
Um,
Out down on this.
yeah, Meltdown, Mississippi, sanction number MS-2025-02. Going to take
We
place in
actually planning
Vicksburg
on
over at
doing that.
Wise Gym.
No, I'm
Do I
just
now?
playing. I said we was
What'd you
actually
say?
planning on doing that beat. I said that.
That's gonna be awful close. But I mean, you guys
Yeah.
can put on a deadlift expedition or whatever if you want to.
Yeah.
If I get too busy, you might get some announcement work in.
Hey, I love that
I,
now.
I've got some surprises for everybody. So hopefully everything comes fast. I don't want to let any cats out of the bag. That just gives me stuff to keep that social media engagement up. That all of a sudden I've found a magic touch to. I don't know what happened, but hopefully we can keep that going so that we can use that momentum for other meets and to promote you guys, because that's really what this podcast and all this is about. I tell you what, when I started taking kids to nationals in 2006 and 2007, I mean, we didn't have any of this. If you guys and anybody listening, if you scroll back through the YouTube page that you're watching this on, you can see some videos, and it's like the progression of how cell phone video worked. If you
Yeah.
go all the way back to the beginning, I mean, some of those videos look like they're on a straight potato, and some of them look like I shot them with a camcorder.
Yeah.
I'll kind of open the floor to you. I mean, anything else you guys would like to talk about or address, or anything you're excited about coming up? Past Raw Nationals. Are you guys trying to, get in contention to potentially go to South Korea? Or
If we can raise some money for that, that'll be a blessing to be able to compete on the world stage. But as far as how much it's costing and where it's located at this year, it's just going to be really hard for us.
But we are thinking about the Pro Series things
Okay.
come up. If I can get my pro card, I already know you got his, but
Whatever we end up doing, but I can tell you this: as somebody has been afforded the opportunity to go to Worlds a few times, whether you got to work a second job, I know that's tougher to do when you manage a school load and doing your own training. But I tell you what, if you figure out how to make it work, it's worth it. I'm hoping it all works out for myself. For the same reasons. To go to Seoul. I haven't been to Asia. I've been to Europe and I've been to Africa. So hopefully there's a little Mississippi representation. I know Cordairs, hopefully is on track for that, and then hopefully some others win that. Well, guys, I just want to take a minute to put you over again. I mean, you guys are just really, really putting together something not just in Blue Mountain, but with yourselves. I mean, you guys are just the lifts you guys are doing on a consistent basis, and you guys are doing everything the right way. You're always, if I show up at a meet, it's not uncommon that you guys are going to be there doing stuff, and I'm telling you, that's one of the things that is it really makes me the happiest about how things have proceeded in Mississippi. It's obviously prominent in other states as well, but I'm a little selfish to my home state when I see,
Yeah.
everything come together quite well when we're standing at the top of the podium. We don't have that many members compared to everybody else, and when you're able to put together, the top two best lifters, but it's going to the same facility, so it's 1A and 1B, unless you ask Lawrence or you ask Jayden, because then y'all gonna mess with each other.
Yeah.
But
He's still that big fat kid from BMC.
all right, 198.
remind me on social media. I know it's ljhokage. Yeah, I looked
Oh,
that up. I looked that up to make sure it's safe for radio. So now I actually know what it means. I forget what it means, but I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, it's safe." I kept going. And then it's Master L.3. Is that right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you guys are doing great things, and I'm glad we're able to get this put together. And we'll get this out, and hopefully I'll be talking to you guys about a great performance.
We have one more thing.
Go ahead.
Also, any athletes just watching it, if they're looking for any coaching, we also are coaching as well.
I hear you.
So if y'all looking for coaching, just DM us on Instagram.
There you go. And I gave their handles just a second ago. So, you guys can be some guinea pigs for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we thank you guys. Y'all have a great day.
Yes, sir. You too.
Too.
All right.
Kane is in the building.